It's better. Not exactly there yet, but it's better. That's not bad. Okay. Space. The New Frontier. Sorry, I had to do that. Okay. So why do I talk about space?
Yeah.
Kathy?
Yeah. Why? I mean, it's a choice.
Yes.
Maybe not so much of a choice if you're painting representationally, but it is a choice.
Yes. Certainly since Malevich and Clement Greenberg in the 1950s talked about the ineluctable flatness of a painting. That was the essence of a painting. Clement Greenberg was a critic, and he was very influential in the 1950s. And his position was that every creative form should strengthen its essential nature. And the essence of painting is flatness. It's flat. It's not sculpture, right? It's not music and time, or it's flat. Okay. And so he really championed that. And so you had people like Kenneth Nolan, Jules Olitsky, very flat, like, or Morris Lewis, the drips. But you also have folks like, I mean, Cézanne things are flattening, for sure, right? Cubism things are flattening. Matisse things are flattening. Diebenkorn. And there's something so powerful about all that. And certainly since the advent of photography, we don't need a painting to memorialize some situation, you know, in some objective way, like this event or a history painting or a portrait. I mean, it doesn't have to do that. We take a picture. And certainly now with our cell phones. So painting doesn't need to have that kind of objective, spatial, descriptive function. So why go, what's the piece about space? Well, I believe that there's something about the combination, believe isn't the right word, I feel, I intuit, that there's something about the combination of the two-dimensional reality, it's a flat thing, and the three-dimensional experience. That combination is very powerful for our human experience. There's something about it doing both things. 2D, 3D, 2D, 3D, 2D, 3D. And this tension is, there's something delicious about that and very alive. Now, that said, it also seems to me that everyone seems to have a different set point of that combination. That's their sweet spot. Like some people just really, whether as a viewer or as a maker, really love that full-blown illusionistic, realist, like, wow, they love to do it or they love to see it, right? Some people, it's more like, wow, there's something about the flatness and the kind of the patterning, and then it kind of, if it's like a Matisse or a Cezanne, it slowly opens. Or Diebenkorn, it's like, whoa. And so it like opens and then comes back, and opens and comes back. And there's something about the tension towards the flatness, but still having light, still having form start to open and space, like a Cezanne, right? There's something, everyone I believe has a different combo that really works the most satisfying. And it seems to me that when it's just flat, I mean, really just flat, like Kenneth Nolan has these, it's just flat and circle and flat, and it's like, I don't think it has any real life to it. It doesn't seem fully alive. It's not enough. I think for a painting to have its full power, there's a tension there between the 2D and the 3D experience that really lights us up. But in order to explore that for each of us as makers, we can't explore it. In other words, we can't explore what's my most satisfying combination of 2D, 3D. We can't explore that unless we have our toolkit, and that is unless I'm able to make things three-dimensional in a normative way. I can't really play. In order for Matisse to go flat, he went flat in a very particular way. He went flat. I mean, you got to see them live because they start to really open. And there's this unbelievable sense of light that comes from them, and space, and it's crazy. And he was very. I mean, he learned in the academy. I mean, he was very, very well skilled. All of those guys. So that's my basic position, I guess, on why space is important and why it's, I think it's also, certainly there are people who are, you say it's more like outsider art, where, they don't have a traditional skill set, but the images are phenomenally powerful. So, that's not their issue, and that's not their trajectory. But I don't know how to teach that, and I don't know that it's, I mean, some people just thrive there, but for most of us, we need a sort of a traditional, set of skills to start working with. So that's why I'm, speaking of, it's going flat. You might want to, But then let's say you've got some of those skills. You could make a spatial painting in a fairly consistent way, convincing way. And you want to start playing. And you want to start playing flatter. So then it becomes a question of doesn't necessarily need to be consistent throughout, but that the movement from one area to another area doesn't feel disconnected. two different languages or too far of a stretch of the different attitudes. Yeah, something like that.